Sexual ethics. Arguably the greatest difference between Egyptian society that we left in this week's parasha and the society that Hashem wants the Jewish people to create in the land of Israel is sexual ethics. How we relate to the intimate area of life, how much it is a reflection of the most intimate, deep, modest parts of our existence, or how much it is an objectification and externalizing of this beautiful human and holy relationship. This is the reason, says Rabbi Jonathan Sacks in his commentary on the Machzor, is why we read the unusual reading on Mincha Yom Kippur, just before an illicit, the holiest time of the day of Yom Kippur. The part chosen to read from the Torah is from Parshat Kedoshim, about Gilui Arayot, the forbidden, illicit sexual relationships. It's because the holiness we aspire to in Yom Kippur is indeed around sexual ethics, as it says in Parshat Kedoshim, and this is how the Kriya on Yom Kippur begins. V'edaber Hashem al Moshe lemor, daber al bnei Yisrael v'amar lem, speak to the children of Israel, telling them, Ani Hashem Elokechem, k'maaseh eretz Mitzrayim asher yashavtem ba lo ta'asu. Do not do the behavioral modes that you saw in Mitzrayim. And from the context which follows, we see that Maaseh Eretz Mitzrayim was indeed the relationship to intimacy and sexual ethics. In fact, the Midrash says on this very pasuk, says that what stood out more than any other about inappropriate sexual relationships was indeed, forgive me for saying the expression, prostitution, znut. Both Rabbi Simlai in the Midrash and Bar Kapara say that Hashem can forgive, says Bar Kapara, can forgive almost anything. He can be patient with enacting justice for almost any sin. But znut, Hashem cannot be long patient when it comes to this, because this type of objectification and commercializing of the human body is the most grotesque and inappropriate sign of the difference between a Jewish society and Egyptian society. I was privileged this week to participate in a historic meeting of a coalition across the Israeli society, and specifically driven by the religious Zionist world. You know, there's so many issues which divide us every day, the Jewish people in Israel and around the world. But here is an issue that across the board in Israel and across the religious Zionist world, with tens and tens of organizations, educational, rabbinic, civil and civic, coming together, of which Mizrachi Olami, World Mizrachi, is part of, to try and uproot the horrific phenomenon of prostitution in Israel. A law has been recently passed in Israel in the Knesset in its first reading about the criminalization of all parties involved in prostitution and the rehabilitation of those who are involved in this terrible phenomenon. In fact, I was shocked to hear some of the statistics that came out of the conference. Firstly, that Rahman al-Itzlan, there are around 12,000 prostitutes in Israel, a horrific figure, and also over 1,000, according to welfare services, of underage, and a terrible phenomenon. Yet, what pervaded the room of all the organizations was a single-minded desire across Israeli society to want to be an or lagoyim, the word which kept coming up, tikkun olam, to be able to build an exemplary society. And I had the privilege of addressing this gathering and sharing indeed this midrash and the sexual ethics that Rabbi Sacks speaks about. And Be'ezrat Hashem, may we be zocher as we enter the 70th year of Israel, where we've rebuilt the incredible collective body of the Jewish people, to be able to take every area in society where there is darkness and create out of Israeli Jewish society the exemplary society of what a Jewish society ought to be. And none is more striking and important and salient than than this particular issue of Yetziat Mitzrayim, of leaving the Maaseh Mitzrayim, of the promiscuity and immorality behind, and building a society where the light of Torah and Jewish values illuminates every area of society, and that the incredible element of human intimacy, sexual intimacy, will be one which will be never profane and always holy in every sense of the word. Shabbat Shalom.